So, dear students, let us continue our previous discussion on transformers. We are going to consider certain simplicities in order to understand the operation of the transformer and its EMF equation. Basically, what is happening? We are applying a voltage over here, and this winding is known as the primary winding, and this will be creating a flux. And this flux will be alternating in nature, and it will be linking with this winding, that is the secondary winding, as we have discussed earlier. Okay. Now this flux will also be linking the primary winding also. So an EMF will be induced in this winding according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and an EMF will also be induced in these windings also. Okay, so before coming to that, let us take certain assumptions. First of all, we are considering that there are no losses in the electrical circuit or in the magnetic circuit. That means we are saying that in the electrical circuit there is no resistance, okay, in the path of the current, neither in this primary nor in the secondary. Second, the losses that occurs in the magnetic circuit, that means the eddy current losses or the hysteresis losses, are also not there. These are assumptions only. Second, the whole of the magnetic flux is confined to the magnetic circuit, and there is no leakage flux, because we have seen that the leakage flux was not the effective flux. Okay, the effective flux, there is only effective flux that is linking the secondary side. Okay, and the permeability of the core is infinite. That means to say that the reluctance is zero. There is no opposition of forming of flux in the core. Okay, so these are basic. That in other words, we can say that very small amount of current, or with very minute current, the flux will be formed inside this ferromagnetic material. Okay. So let the number of turns in the coil 1 be N1 and in the coil 2 be N2. Okay. When the source of alternating voltage V1, see here V1 I am taking it as capital. That means that we are talking about the RMS value. Okay. Is applied to coil 1, and alternating current I0 flows in it. I0 flows in it. This alternating current produces an alternating flux phi m in the magnetic circuit. The mean path of this flux is shown in the figure by dotted line. Now the thing is that I am talking about I0 over here. Okay, let me mark this for you. Don't confuse right now. You might be saying that it should be I1, but it is I0, because we are only considering right now that this load is not connected. This load is not connected. Okay. So the current that is flowing, the current that will flowing in the primary side is described as I0, okay, or IO, for example. Okay. This current is producing the flux. Okay. Now the alternating flux links the turns T1 of coil 1 and induces in them alternating voltage E1. As I just said, that this flux that is generated will be linking this coil and this coil. As it is linking this coil, an EMF will be induced in it, and according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, EMF will be produced. And similarly, because this flux is linking this coil also, okay, so EMF will be induced in this, which is shown by E1, and here the EMF is shown by E2. Okay, this induction of voltage or this induced voltage will be known as self-induced voltage. It will be known as an EMF produced by self-induction, and here the EMF will be known as EMF induced by mutual induction. Okay, so E1 will be an EMF that is generated by self-induction, and E2 will be the voltage generated by mutual induction. Okay. So now if the coil is connected to the load, okay, if I connect this portion to the load, and I2 will be start flowing in this circuit. Okay. So coil 1 is known as the primary winding. The primary winding is that winding in which we are applying the supply, and coil 2 will be that winding in which we are connecting the load. Simple. Now we will derive the EMF equation of the transformer. So now students, we will derive the EMF equation. Before that, I am going to say one more thing over here, that when we symbolize the transformer, this is the symbol of the transformer. Okay, these lines are basically, these lines show that there is a tight coupling, tight magnetic coupling between the primary and the secondary. That means that there is no leakage flux basically. Okay, all the flux that is being produced by the primary is linking the secondary. Okay, so this is the basic symbol of the transformer, or we can say this is the basic symbol of the ideal transformer. Okay, and we are now up till now what we are considering, that there are no losses. Okay, now we are going to derive the EMF equation. What do I mean by EMF equation? We are going to derive the equation for the EMF that is being developed over here and here. What should be the value of this EMF? Okay, and what should be the equation of the EMF, and what should be the magnitude of this EMF, or we can say what should be the RMS value of these EMF, because you know that if we know the RMS value, then we should know the peak of that sinusoidal quantity, as you have studied in your first unit. So because the EMF that is being induced in both the windings is due to mutual flux, the EMF is being induced by mutual flux, right? And there was leakage flux also. That's why that it was not an effective flux. So this is the effective flux that is linking the primary and the secondary. So let that flux be defined as, how can I define this flux? It will be having a maximum value, and of course it will be sine of omega t. It will be a sinusoidal quantity, because as we have discussed earlier. Now the EMF induced in any of the windings, let us take an arbitrary EMF. It, according to Faraday's and Lenz's law, d by dt of flux into what? Into number of turns of that coil. I am taking right now, I am taking it n. I am not denoting n1 or n2. ठीक है, later on हम लोग उसको n1 और n2 incorporate कर लेंगे. Generalized way में कह रहा हूँ कि it is number of turns are n. The flux that is linking the n number of turns of coils is this one. So this term, जैसे पहले discuss किया था, this is nothing but the flux linkage. Okay, so I can write it like this, minus, because number of turns is constant, d phi by dt, and pardon me over here, I'm just writing right now like this, phi t, and let me replace it like this. This phi is the flux that is function of time. Okay, and let us replace this by its actual value. Let this be equation number 1 and number 2. Okay, substituting 2 in 1. Let me drag it down. What will happen? I can write the equation of EMF as minus n d by dt of what? Of phi m sine of omega t. So far so good. Now what will happen? If you just write this equation and solve it, I will write it here, solve yourself. Okay, do it yourself, because this is mathematics, and this much mathematics you must know, that the EMF will be given as T omega phi m, because of course if we differentiate, this phi m is a constant term, this will come outside, and I will differentiating with respect to time, so omega will also come outside, and sine will turn to cos, and if I use a trigonometric relationship and return back to my sine value, it will become omega t minus pi by 2. Okay, so this is the equation of EMF, and let me modify it a bit in terms of time. Are you following this? That means there is certain magnitude over here of this EMF. There is certain magnitude of this EMF, right? And it is having a frequency of omega. This EMF is having a frequency of omega, and it is lagging by pi by 2. Lagging what? Lagging the flux, because the flux is omega t plus 0. There is no angle. So it has a magnitude and an angle, right? So we can just write it like this. If I take the peak value, EM can be given as T omega phi m, right? And if I write the RMS value, what it should be? What is the relationship between the RMS value and the peak value? It should be 1 upon root 2 times T omega phi m. Alright, and I can replace this omega by what? Omega will be equal to 2 into pi into f, and so I can rewrite it as 4.44 phi m into f into t. Sorry, okay. There is one. This is number of turns n. Okay, number of turns. So the RMS value of the EMF that is being developed in any coil that is linked by a flux of that is having a peak value of phi m can be written in this format. So what will be the magnitude of the flux of the EMF that is on the primary side? I can write it as 4.44 phi m f into n1. And what about EMF? Magnitude of the RMS value of the EMF that is being developed on the secondary side, it will be 4.44. What is the flux that is linking this coil, the secondary? That is again the same flux that is over here. The flux over here and here will be same. So, and the frequency is also same. So I can write it like this. Are you following this? So let this be equation, for example 5, and this be equation 6. Dividing (5) by 6, what will be getting? E1 by E2 is equal to, all the things will cancel out. All the things in this will cancel out, and it will become N1 by N2. This is very important relationship. Okay. This is very important relationship. E1 upon E2 is equal to number of turns on the primary divided by number of turns in the secondary. Now if one wants to calculate what is the EMF generated on the secondary side, and he knows the EMF that is being developed on the primary side, then of course he will be finding it easily by N1, N2 by N1 into E1, right? So if we know the number of turns of the primary and the secondary side, and we know the EMF that is on the primary side, it will be the same thing. Okay, so in this we are talking about ideal case. Now there are no losses and there are no such things. If we see over here, I mean going back to my circuit over here, see over here, हम यहाँ पे कह रहे हैं कि यहाँ पे कोई losses नहीं है. Okay, if we see over here, if we draw the KVL or Kirchhoff's voltage law अगर मैं इसमें लगाऊंगा, तो we are having an AC source like this and AC source like this, और इधर जो है V1 है और इधर E1 है. So this is nothing but V1 minus E1 is equal to 0, or we can say that V1 is equal to E1. ठीक है, this is the case when we are considering the ideal case. लेकिन for practical case V1 is approximately equal to E1. There are certain drops, voltage drops, that can be neglected for time being. Okay, so V1 should be equal to E1. So we can just have another relationship over here, that is V1 upon V2 is equal to N1 by N2. ठीक है, अब आप फर्क समझें कि व्हाट इज क्या फर्क है E1 और V1 में और V2 और E2 में. E1 is the induced voltage. E1 is denoting the induced voltage. E2 is denoting the induced voltage in the secondary. V1 is the actual voltage that is being supplied at the primary, and V2 denotes the voltage that is across the load. ठीक है, I hope you are getting this thing. ठीक है, now the classification of transformers basically, अब यहां पे देखिए आप, अगर हम नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स को वेरी करते हैं, यानी इफ N1 is equal to N2, तो E2 will be equal to E1, या फिर V1 will be equal to V2. अगर ये दोनों बराबर नहीं है, तो अगर फॉर एग्जाम्पल N2 is more than N1, then what will happen? E2 will be more than E1. तो क्या हो जाएगा? स्टेप अप ट्रांसफॉर्मर हो जाएगा. तो मैं यहां पे लिखता हूं, इफ N2 is greater than N1, what will happen? This will result in a step up transformer. और याद रखिए मैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ वोल्टेज बात कर रहा हूं. ठीक है, हमेशा जब भी स्टेप अप ट्रांसफार्मर की बात हो रही है, तो हियर इन सिनेरियो ऑफ पावर वी आर टॉकिंग, सो इट विल बी इन टर्म्स ऑफ वोल्टेज. And if N2, if the secondary side number of turns are less than N1, then what will happen? It will become a step down transformer. Okay. Now, अगर मैं करंट के टर्म्स में बात करूंगा, तो स्टेप अप ट्रांसफार्मर जो हो जाएगा वो स्टेप डाउन हो जाएगा, क्योंकि करंट तो कम होने वाला है. और यहाँ पे स्टेप डाउन ट्रांसफार्मर इन टर्म्स ऑफ वोल्टेज अगर है, तो वही ट्रांसफार्मर हम कह सकते हैं वो स्टेप अप हो रहा है इन टर्म्स ऑफ करंट, क्योंकि पावर इक्विवेलेंट होती है. नाउ देयर आर अदर टाइप ऑफ ट्रांसफार्मर्स दैट आर नोन एज करंट ट्रांसफार्मर्स. अभी ऊपर तक की डिस्कशन के हिसाब से हमारे पास क्या होना चाहिए? इट शुड बी ऑफ सिमिलर स्ट्रक्चर, बट मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स दे आर यूज्ड टू measure the current. If you will be working in the power stations, then you will be finding these type of current transformers. ओके, CTs बोलते हैं अक्सर, शॉर्ट टर्म्स में CTs बोलते हैं. If somebody is working on the power stations, then he must, or on the substations, then he must be knowing these well. Okay. So basic concept is this: there are certain precautionary measures that have to be taken in the case of CTs, current transformers. Voltage transformers are robust; they can be utilized easily. So, and another classification that we have already discussed, that was based on the construction. Okay, that how we are placing the windings. There was one case in which we are placing around the core. First of all, the primary winding or the low voltage winding, then insulation, then low voltage winding, then over that another insulation, and then over that high voltage winding. This type was known as the core type construction. Second was that we place the windings in layers: low voltage insulation, then low voltage winding, then insulation, then high voltage winding, like that. So in a limb, if there are such shells or such layers, then it is known as the shell type winding. Okay. Another concept over here is that I talked about the laminations. Okay. So now the laminations, if we take one limb, for example, if we take one limb, this was the front view. If we see this from the top, what will happen? It will look like this. Okay, in which there are many laminations. I am talking about the limb. Sorry. ठीक है, मैं इसकी बात कर रहा हूं. अगर ये ट्रांसफार्मर का फॉर एग्जांपल है, तो आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस पोर्शन ओनली. I am trying to see it from the top. So there will be laminations, right? So there will be laminations, and if we see over here, we want to. अब मैं क्या करना चाह रहा हूं? I want to wound a winding around this limb, right? So if I wind this like this, it will come out like this, somewhat like this, and this will be insulation. और उसके ऊपर मैं winding को लपेटूंगा, right? So if you see over here, there is lot of space. There is lot of space between the winding outside periphery and the region of the lamination, right? So how to avoid this? होना तो ये चाहिए कि इसका जो आर्किटेक्चर है लिम्ब का, that should be round, ताकि सारी की सारी वाइंडिंग इसके साथ साथ रहे. What we do is, we cannot do that because we have to use the laminations of different size. ठीक है, so we form a step type of laminations like this. I mean to say, some laminations इस तरह की होंगी, कुछ इस साइज की होंगी, कुछ इस साइज की होंगी, डिफरेंट साइजेस के. अब अगर मैं इसके अराउंड लपेटूंगा, अब ये रफ फिगर है, ठीक है, तो आपको अंदाजा होगा कि अब जो एयर स्पेस बची हुई है यहाँ पे, दैट विल बी लेस. ठीक है, सो वी कैन से दैट वी 2 स्टेप्ड और 3 स्टेप्ड टाइप के हम क्रॉस सेक्शंस लेते हैं, ताकि हमारे अंदर इसके अंदर जो है लीकेज फ्लक्स मिनिमम हो. ठीक है, इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द आइडियल ट्रांसफार्मर. अभी तक आइडियल ट्रांसफार्मर ही चल रहा था, लेकिन इन टर्म्स ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिकल डोमेन, दैट मीन्स वी विल ड्रॉ दी फेजर डायग्राम्स. ठीक है, एंड व्हाट आर दी क्राइटेरिया फॉर द आइडियल ट्रांसफार्मर.